There on the field, the pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beatsis is singing "Fight, Balls, Fight." The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Fall camp is officially here. We are 1 month away from kicking things off against Ball State. I'm excited. There's a lot of energy in the air. Everybody's starting to talk about college football, but there's also a lot of questions about this football team moving into the 2022 season. We can talk about defense. Can this team get off the field on third down? Can they get after the quarterback? Also on offense, what's the wide receiver position going to look like? We're all excited about Brew McCoy. Does he actually deliver? Does Jalen Hyatt take that next step? Can this offensive line take a step? But then also, more specifically, the news comes out yesterday, Laneith Whitehead out for the year. We're down to 4 scholarship running backs. There is an option out there in the portal. We're going to talk about that. But Alex Golesh also spoke to the media yesterday, had some comments about his running back room. We'll get into that in just a second. As always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's free, it's quick, it's easy, helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts, we're not insiders, we are fans just like you. For the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. So let's see what Coach Golesh had to say. Again, obviously, they're talking about the running back room, the lack of depth. 4 scholarship players, 2 of those are true freshmen, one of which did not go through spring camp because he arrived in June. Now, to start things off, he talked about Jabari Small, talked about Jalen Wright. Kind of the similarities there is that they both have a different confidence to them walking into the room this year. Said that was something that they struggled with last year. They didn't really feel like they were the guy, but also praised Jabari Small for the work that he put in off the field, adding some good solid weight, called him an all-purpose back, said he didn't really look like a third down back anymore. He looked like the guy. So we will see. That's your 1-2 punch. Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, again, don't go anywhere. By the end of the video, we're going to get into an option that is out there in the portal. But let's hear what Coach Golesh had to say about the running back room and specifically those young freshman running backs.
They've both been told you're going to get as your work deserves, and we need both those guys. We're not very deep. We got to do a really good job managing those guys through camp and keeping them healthy. We're going to give Justin Williams and Dylan every opportunity to see if those guys can play early. And let them run behind the 1 and 2 O-line and see what they can do. The running part, not as concerned about as can you protect the quarterback. Those are the things for a young back that can cost you football games is not being able to protect. And so those guys have had a good summer. Jerry Mack's done a really good job getting those guys ready. Justin, we've seen. It'd be interesting to see what his growth looks like. That's a big question mark. We talked about like tackle. Big question mark to see what Justin has been able to do this summer, how that translates over into real football. And then Dylan, enrolled in June. So I'm excited to see Dylan because I think there's some really unique playmaking ability in space with him. And I think he can do a lot of things, at least off of high school film. And he's got real track speed, and he's a tough, smart young man. I'm really excited to see what Dylan can do. So we're going to need them all at some point. I'm aware of that. We're going to have to be really smart how we handle those guys in camp because we're not very deep. But our job's to find a way to make the depth go and win football games. So that's what we're going to do.
I said this yesterday in the video. I'm excited about Justin Williams-Thomas and Dylan Sampson. I think as they kind of mature and go through the process of college football, I think they eventually will end up being a great 1-2 punch. Again, just the difference. The different skill sets that they bring to the table. Dylan Sampson, like you heard Coach Golesh say there, he's got that legit track speed. Justin Williams-Thomas, the more physical guy. And I think you're going to see Justin Williams-Thomas get some run early. And like he said there, a big part of being that every down back is being able to protect the quarterback. But you can bring a guy like Justin Williams-Thomas in 3rd and 1, short yardage situations. And again, like we said yesterday, that's what this staff planned to do with Lyneth Whitehead, but they still need more depth. What are they going to do? We've talked about several names that were in the portal. Yesterday, after I dropped the video about Lyneth Whitehead, the news broke that this guy, running back Lyn-J Dixon, who was in the portal, is on campus. He was on campus yesterday visiting with his coaching staff, according to Austin Price at VAWLQuest.com. If the visit goes well, if both ends like where we're at, then Lyn-J Dixon could be on the practice field by the end of the week. Now, this article here, it is from back in June. This is when he entered the portal, because Lyn-J Dixon was a commit to Clemson. He played at Clemson, entered the portal after this past season, went to go play at West Virginia, went through spring practice, but now he is also transferring out from there. It says running back Lyn-J Dixon enters portal without playing a game at West Virginia. Now, when we talk about culture, when we talk about the locker room chemistry, what do you look at? Why is a guy transferring out? Why is Lyn-J Dixon transferring out of West Virginia without ever playing a single snap? It says right here, 2 months out from the season opener, West Virginia's running back room is reduced by one, with Lyn-J Dixon entering the transfer portal. He leaves the program without ever having played at West Virginia. It says here he originally committed to West Virginia in November of 2021 after announcing his decision to transfer from Clemson. It says he participated in the gold-blue spring game and scored on a 7-yard run for the game's first touchdown. He is a graduate transfer. Dixon was immediately eligible to play for the Mountaineers, but will instead seek a new home. Now, again, why are we transferring? Is this about playing time? Because this is a guy that played 4 years at Clemson, and coming out of high school, he was a 4-star prospect in the class of 2018, actually committed to Tennessee in 2017, but then switched that over to Clemson, where he spent 4 years. And when you look at his time at Clemson, like, he started off as a true freshman, ran for almost 550 yards, averaged 8.8 yards a carry. 8.8 yards carry on 62 carries, had 5 touchdowns. Sophomore, biggest season of his career, had 104 carries, 635 yards, and 6 touchdowns, averaging 6.1 per carry. Then his production kind of fell off going into the COVID year. Going into 2021, he got less and less carries, and that makes me feel like, that's why he ended up at West Virginia, felt himself sliding down the depth chart. But why now? Why is he leaving West Virginia? Is that also another thing? Is it a problem with playing time? Is that why Lyn-J Dixon is looking to be on his third roster in less than a year? It says here at Clemson, the Butler, Georgia native, played in 41 games, rushed for 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns in just over 3 seasons with the Tigers. He appeared in just 3 games in 2021, rushing for 48 yards on 10 carries. So keep that in mind. 2021 just played in 3 games, so that year falls as a redshirt year. But also due to the COVID year, Lyn-J Dixon, if he does end up at Tennessee, will have 2 years of eligibility. Says his best season came as a sophomore when the Tigers advanced to the national championship. 104 carries, 634 yards, and 6 touchdowns. So again, Lyn-J Dixon originally committed to Tennessee back in 2017, finds himself at Clemson, then transfers out at the end of last year. So he spent, 8 months? 8 months on that West Virginia football team. So we've talked a lot about the options that were out there in the transfer portal, the running backs that actually showed interest at Tennessee. They came in for visits, but all signs indicate that the coaching staff moved on for various reasons, whether that be something to do with locker room chemistry, off-field issues. I don't know the full circumstances of every one of those recruits, but this coaching staff has put a priority on culture and locker room chemistry. Tyon Evans transferring out, rumors of him kind of being a locker room cancer. Again, allegedly, I don't know what goes on in that locker room. But what do you guys feel about Lyn-J Dixon? Does he decide to come to Tennessee? I like the fact that you're adding another body, but look, it's go time. Fall camp starts today. This coaching staff, this football team needed another guy in the locker room, in the running back room. Lyn-J Dixon, not only does he give you that extra guy, but if you go watch his film at Clemson, this is a shifty, dynamic type of running back. I think he fits into this offense well. But does he hurt the chemistry? Does the coaching staff take this guy because of the need for depth now that Lyneth Whitehead is out for the year? Is it just a guy to take a guy? He's got 2 years of eligibility left. A lot of people, it's kind of split. When you look at the message boards, when you look at the comment sections of YouTube, you look on Facebook, our fan base seems kind of split. Some people think that Lyn-J Dixon's going to come in and he is going to be the number 1 running back in the room and that he will eventually win the job and take over as the top running back. Other people say he's going to be a complete bust and never play a down at Tennessee. But you guys know what to do. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts on Lyn-J Dixon and exactly what he would add to the running back room. But as always, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. Any and all support, greatly appreciated. Thank you to all the new members of the channel. You can be a member of the channel as well. Hit that join button down below. Right beside subscribe, just hit that little join button. For as little as 99 cents a month, you support what we do. You get access to custom Talkin' VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.